Hello, scholars. I know, it's been super duper long. I think maybe 2 to 3 months since I uploaded my last content, but no worries, I'm back now because I know that come January, you will be having your SPM examination. And I also found out that recently, most of you already had your English speaking test, so I hope that each and every one of you have performed well and rise to the occasion based on the videos that I have prepared for you. But today we are actually going to be looking at a sample essay, which is a review. Okay, so if you have not watched one of my videos previously where I taught you how to write a review, so here's the link at the upper right corner. Remember to go and click on it and take a quick revision to figure out how to write your own reviews. Okay, now today we are going to actually be looking at a sample written by me. This question is also written by me as well. Okay, and I'm thinking of making it into like a 3-part series. So part 1 is going to be us looking at a review, part 2 will be an article, whereas part 3 will be narrative writing. Now, personally, I feel that if you are not a creative person, you can stick to reviews and articles, okay? Now, without further ado, let us just dive in and see what we have prepared today. And also, okay, before I forget, I am also actually going to be teaching you how to analyze this particular essay that I've written so that you can take some pointers and implement it in your own essay when you write a review. Okay, but to summarize, to put it short, writing a review is really easy. You just need to remember to write down what you like and what you dislike about the movie, the book, the restaurant, and all those things, depending on the title, of course. Now, we all know there's a few types of reviews, right? We have book reviews, movie reviews, restaurants, places, services, and all those things. Okay, now today we are going to be looking at movie reviews. Let's say in your exam, okay, or before your exam, you have already decided that no matter what type of reviews that comes out during your exam, you are definitely going to be writing a review. I would highly suggest you to already pick a book and a movie in prior to memorize the contents that you are planning to write, if you're one of the people who likes to memorize things. Okay, but for me, I am not the type of person who likes to memorize things. Okay, so I'm more on the creative side. So actually, when I was a student myself taking SPM, I was actually always choosing stories to write because even until now I'm still writing stories, you see, and I love it. Okay, anyways, kind of going out of topic, let us just come back here. So let us look at the instructions. Write an answer to one of the questions 3 to 5 in this part. Write your answer in 200 to 250 words. You recently saw a notice in your school's newspaper. Reviews needed. Have you watched any interesting movies lately? Send us your movie review and say what you enjoy about it. Will you recommend the movie to your friends? Why? Okay, take a look at this instruction in particular. Just now I mentioned, normally for reviews, it is preferable for us to write what we like and what we dislike about the movie, right? However, look at this title. They tell us to send us a movie review and say what you enjoyed about it. Okay, meaning you can only, in this particular essay, write about what you like. Okay, unless the instruction just says, send us your movie review. Would you recommend the movie to your friends? Why? And then you can write both your likes and your dislikes. But here in particular, they already listed out that you are supposed to write what you enjoyed about it. So you need to write what you like about the film. And also one more thing, because normally for reviews, right, you have already experienced the movie, you have already experienced whatever experience that you have experienced. It's a tongue twister, yeah? So it has to be in past tense, okay? Because let's see, let's say if we were to write a restaurant review, right? So it is already past. Okay, we have already been to the restaurant, we have already enjoyed the services, we have already eaten at the restaurant. So it's all in the past. So when you write your reviews, it has to be in past tense. Okay, so same goes for this movie review and book reviews and all those things, because you've already watched the movie, you've already read the book, so it has to be in past tense. All right, please remember that. The best reviews will be featured on our paper. Send yours in today. Okay, that's not necessary for us to read, but sometimes we need to read it. Okay, who knows? Okay, maybe there is another new hint at the bottom of the instructions. So please make sure during your exam you read every single instruction that you come across and you don't skip anything, okay? Alright, the most recent movie that I watched is titled Luck, an animated fantasy comedy produced by Skydance Animation. It is about the world's unluckiest girl who followed a black cat through a portal in order to obtain good luck. Now, we start off, okay, our essay by talking about the title of the movie. Okay, my handwriting is not the best in this particular video, but let me try my best, okay? So of course, like all movie reviews, you have to start off by talking about the title of the movie, and if possible, I would like for you to talk about the genre of the movie. Okay, what is a movie genre? Movie genre and book genre, they are basically the same thing, which is the type of movie, the type of book. Okay, actually, it's much more preferable for us to use genre instead of type. Okay, genre is actually the correct term for it. Okay, so you may know a couple of these genres, but let us do like a quick review about it. Okay, so of course we have horror, which is all those ghost stories and all those things. We have fantasy. Okay, fantasy, anything to do with magic and dragons and fairies, fantasy. Okay, and then we have science fiction, which is more commonly known as sci-fi. Okay, that's the short form. And then we have thriller, and then we have action. Thriller and action, they are quite similar. Okay, so anything that gets you excited and gets your heart pumping. And we also have mystery. Okay, so normally this involves detectives and all those other things. Okay, so and for cartoons, try not to write cartoons. Okay, so it's preferable for us to write animation. All right. I may have missed out. One more is romance. Okay, so this is another movie genre, so basically your love story and all those things. Personally, I'm sure some of your teachers would agree with me as well. We don't really recommend you to write books or movies that are of the romance genre, because like a lot of us think that, you know, you're still students, and at this age you're not supposed to be thinking about dating others and marriages and all those things, but that's just like our personal opinion. Okay, but not encourageable for you to write romance in stories as well, you know, not just this. But I'm not sure whether times have changed and whether more educators are more willing to accept students who write anything to do with romance. Okay, Skydance Animation is the studio that produced this movie Luck. Okay, so of course it is not necessary, it is not compulsory for you to write or remember the name of the studio, but if you happen to do so, please go ahead. Okay, for me the more important part is you gotta remember your title, obviously, as well as the genre of the movie. Okay, so you can see here. One more genre of the movie is comedy. Okay, anything funny, okay, we can put it under comedy. All right. Okay, so it's really important for us to remember one thing when we are writing reviews. Okay, reviews, like I said earlier, it is about what we like and what we dislike. Okay, we cannot use one paragraph to write about the summary of the story. Okay, we don't need to know, what happened in the beginning of the story, there was this character, and then in the middle of it, what was her adventures, at the end they live happily ever after. We don't need all this. Okay, just one sentence, one simple sentence of what happens in the story if you feel like you really must write the plot of the story. Okay, but please remember, do not use one entire paragraph, okay, to write about what happens in the story. Otherwise, you will not be getting any marks and you are going off topic. Okay, because remember, reviews are what you like and what you dislike. Okay, I repeated this so many times in the past few minutes, so please remember. Okay, I don't want you to lose your points. I don't want your points to fly away, jump away, hop away, or whatever, just because of this mistake. Okay, if you want to write summary of what happens in this particular movie, fine. Okay, just one sentence is enough. Okay, let's say if we were to write a review of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Okay, so that is the first movie, the first book of the entire Harry Potter franchise. So just one sentence, you just say, this story is about a boy named Harry who found out he was a wizard and he was to attend a magical school called Hogwarts. Settle. Okay, don't need to talk about anything else. Okay, because we are not asking you what happened in the movie, we are asking you what you like and what you dislike. Remember that. Okay, moving on to the second paragraph. Okay, so here is where we will use a lot of the highlights, a lot of the highlighters, a lot of the colors, okay, to help you analyze this entire essay. All right. It is a film with heartwarming characters with a sweet ending. So you can see this is our overall feeling, okay, our overall vibe of the overall feeling. Okay, I cannot multitask, okay, when I can't talk and write at the same time. Okay, so now that we said that this is a film, this is a movie. Okay, film means movie, by the way, that is heartwarming and has a sweet ending. We need to explain, we need to elaborate why we think this way, right? Okay, so I will be using the color purple to highlight like our opinions or our emotions. Okay, so we say that I love. So the next sentence, we are talking about what we like. Okay, I love that the movie's characters are based on the lives of foster children who eventually grew out of their stay in the orphanage they grew up in. Okay, so let me explain something first, which is foster children. Okay, we all know what is an orphanage. Okay, this is where children without parents grew up in, and the children who grew up in orphanages, they are called orphans. Okay, ORPHANS. Okay, so what is foster children then? Foster children, this is the foster care system. Okay, it's actually a system that is available, I won't say available, foster care system, that is in America. Okay, so the foster children who are under this foster care, sometimes they still have their parents around, their parents are still alive, just that the parents, they are not, responsible for the children. Maybe they don't really take care of their children, they don't feed their children, or they will go out gambling and take drugs and all those other things. Okay, so they don't really care for the children. So these children, they end up in the foster care system, and they actually, some of them, if they're really lucky, they actually get to live with a foster family. So you must take note, yeah, it is different from adoption. Okay, so adoption is the family will sign a paper and the child will become theirs, right? Will become part of the family. But foster children is different. Okay, so they will live with the foster family maybe until they're 18 years old, and then if they choose to move out, or the foster family wants them to move out, they can do so. Okay, so for more information, please Google that yourself. Yeah, but now we kind of get a gist what's the difference between foster children and orphans. Okay, now, so we talk about what we like in the movie. Okay, and if you notice this part right here, okay, we talk about the representation. Okay, we say that it is based on the lives of foster children. Okay, so normally in movies, right, foster children, so far, okay, I have never seen foster children being represented in the media, especially in movies. Okay, so we can say that, we can mention that we think this is a good representation. Okay, and then we elaborate, we explain what is going on. Okay, you will see, we will use a little bit of what happened in the movie. Okay, but we must remember, after we explain what happened in the movie, we must add on our emotions. Otherwise, we are just talking about our, what do you call that? Our summary. Okay, we do not want summary. All right, okay, let's take a look at the next sentence. The scene where the main character Sam was forced to move out into an apartment of her own definitely put some heartstrings in me. You see, here in the green highlight, we are explaining what went on in the movie, right? So this is what I like to call movie evidence. Okay, what happened in the movie, and we add a little bit of our emotions. Put some heartstrings in me. What does that mean? It made you feel something. Maybe it made you feel sad. It made you feel, normally it just makes you feel sad. Okay, that's what put some heartstrings mean. Okay, and you feel sympathy towards the character. So we said something that happened in the movie that put some heartstrings in us, but at the same time, I felt happy for her. You see, this is our emotions, okay? So we had to explain, why did we feel happy for the character Sam? Okay, because Sam was able to cope well despite her worries. Okay, because in this movie, right, Sam is really the unluckiest person in the world. Whenever she does something bad, it's gonna happen. Okay, so remember, just now we said that foster children is a type of representation, right? So our like our ending of this paragraph, we say that foster children is a community that has not been presented in an animation movies yet, and I'm glad that now it has. Oh, I should. Okay, and I'm gonna erase this and I'm gonna stop it here. Okay, this is our opinion, right? And then we have our feelings. Okay, I'm glad that now it has been represented. Okay, representation can be good, can be bad. Okay, in this movie, in a way it's good because we are exposed to the idea, to the knowledge of what is foster children. Okay, so we can mention all these things. You see how we are analyzing our what do you call that, our essay. Okay, so this is how you can write your review essay. All right, if you have any questions, please remember to type it down in the comments and ask me. All right, I can understand English, Malay, and Mandarin, so please go ahead. Yeah. Okay, so let's move on to the next sentence. Okay, so the next sentence, we still need to talk about what we like about this movie. So if you notice this entire paragraph, we are generally talking about what happened in the movie, right? Like the general plot. Okay, here we just specifically mention one character, which is our main character, Sam. Maybe a characteristic of hers or an action of hers that she did that we really like. Okay, so now let's see our next sentence. We start off by saying Sam's the best character in the movie too. So this is the short form for Sam is. Okay, please do remember to ask your school teachers whether you are allowed to write short forms. Okay, follow their style. Yeah, if they do not allow you to write short forms, don't do it. Okay, if they allow you, great, do it lah. Okay, anyways, Sam's the best character in the movie too. And I'm not saying this because she is the main character. Now here we have mentioned, okay, why we say Sam's the best character. You know, sometimes in movies, right, we see, the side characters ends up being the favorites of the audience, right? Like Attack on Titans, the favorite character of most people is actually Levi. So you know, we can just mention, since that this is the main character in the movie, right? We are say, look, since we think that Sam is the best character in the movie, and also because she's the main character, we can add on a little bit of our opinion and say that I'm not saying that she's the best character just because she's the main character. Okay, she must have done something to make us think that she's the best character. So we explain, okay, what happened in the movie that allowed us to think that she is the best main character. Okay, sorry, she's the best character. Cross out the main. Okay, let me just... Okay, so this is our movie evidence. Despite being the unluckiest person in the world, when she followed Bob the Black Cat into the world of luck to get some good luck, she never intended to use the good luck on herself and wanted to give it to her best friend, whom she hoped will be adopted. Okay, so this obviously is a movie evidence, what happened in the movie, right? But we must mention, okay, this is necessary. This is not the summary of the movie because we talked about what she did, what action Sam did in this movie to make us think that she's the best character. Okay, what Sam did. Okay, so we can use a word to describe her, right? Which is her being selfless. Okay, selfless, if you do not know the meaning, is the antonym of selfish. You all know selfish, right? So selfless is the opposite of selfish. Selfless is the opposite of selfish. Okay, so we say that, you know, what Sam did, okay, in this particular action, it shows that she's a selfless person, especially since she has gotten a taste of having a series of good luck in her life. Okay, because, you know, in this movie, Sam actually picked up a coin. Okay, so this part right here, this blue highlight is our elaboration, by the way. So actually in this movie, she actually picked up a lucky coin, and everything she does for the entire day, the entire week or whatever was lucky. Okay, she did not run into any mishaps and all those things. But here she was not being selfish. She wanted to give this lucky coin. She wanted to get another one of this lucky coin and give it to her friend, actually. Okay, so just now we mentioned another character, which is Bob. Okay, so since before we only ever mentioned Sam, right? So if we suddenly mention Bob, people wouldn't know who is Bob, right? So we kind of need to briefly explain who is Bob. Okay, Bob the Black Cat. Now we immediately know who is Bob. Okay, we won't picture Bob being like a man or a young boy or whatever. Okay, so it's important for us to introduce what kind of character is that if they suddenly appeared in the middle of our writing. Okay, so let's say if it's like You all know Sherlock Holmes, right? I think you all know. If you all don't, here's a picture of him. So Sherlock Holmes, who is his sidekick? Dr. Watson, right? So if you talk about Sherlock Holmes, and suddenly you mention Watson, so you need to mention Watson is Sherlock Holmes' assistant, is the doctor, or is actually he's a retired soldier doctor, okay? So you can mention all these things, like the character's occupation or what's their role actually, okay? Now, we come to the end. Then remember, right, usually we had to talk about whether we would recommend the movie, okay, to our friends. Alright, so let's see. My time watching this movie was well spent because it was not a waste of time, so we mentioned it's well spent, and I would definitely recommend this movie to my friends. Usually we will stop here, right? But for me, I like my students to elaborate, okay? So I told them to give a little bit of reasoning, okay? Why do I recommend this movie to my friends? So we do like a mini summary, okay, of why, or give two reasons. Okay, let's not confuse you. So we give two reasons, or we give one reason why we will recommend this movie to our friends. Okay, number one, the movie is interesting, and number two, the pacing. The pacing is the speed, was neither too fast nor too slow. You all know some movies, right? They take forever to finish, especially nowadays when they are a series, right? So whatever that they could have shown us in, okay, I want to erase the last sentence. Okay, that's why I'm playing around with, because I accidentally typed I would recommend this movie to my friends twice. Okay, so just ignore the last part. Okay, anyways, back to what I was saying. So normally nowadays the series, right, they are like 10 episodes or 12 episodes at minimum, right? So most of the time they are showing us a lot of unnecessary information. Like for example, what they could have shown us in the second episode, they would drag and wait until they are at the 5th or 6th episode before they would review what was going on. And sometimes because they don't really have much of a plot or storyline going on, right, we would have already guessed who was like the actual villain or what was the actual plot of the story way before it was reviewed. Now, recently I was watching this anime. It was about a girl who was working in a palace and blah blah blah, all those things. You know, just by like the 8th episode, or is it the 6th episode? I can't remember. I have no idea how many episodes are there in total, but I could already guess who was the prince of this movie already. So that, in a way, the hint was way too obvious. Some people, you know, when they're enjoying the show, they won't pick up on the hint lah, okay? But for me, because I'm someone who writes stories, I'm someone who reads a lot, so when this type of hints occur, I could literally see them immediately. I could spot them immediately, which sucks in a way, because like, okay, let me just explain this, okay? Because I love to get my mind blown when I watch movies, when I read stories and all those things, and Attack on Titan is actually the best storyline that delivered that. You have no idea how many times my mind was blown when I was watching that particular anime series, and unfortunately I accidentally came across a spoiler when I was on the internet, and the last episode, you know, where the ending, I'm not gonna elaborate much on it just in case there are spoilers. I did not even shed a tear because I knew already what was gonna happen. So I was like quite disappointed. Okay, but anyways, that's not important. So we have come to the end, okay, of our review revision. Okay, so please wait for me to upload the next essay. Next essay, we are actually gonna be looking at articles, okay, which is this one, a place where we can go and learn. Okay, just a little short preview of what we are going to be doing next. All right, so this, let me just zoom out and see how colorful this entire thing is. Wow, would you look at that? Okay, so this is partially why I like to do like an analysis of our essay writing, so we can see how colorful everything is. Okay, and you can see how much detail that goes into writing an essay. All right, okay, as usual, thank you so much for watching. And oh my god, I just remembered I hit like 500 subscribers in November. And thank you so much to you for subscribing and for staying and for returning to my channel whenever I upload. Okay, so I really hope that you will score your A's in your SPM examination. And as usual, if you have any questions regarding today's topic, feel free to leave it in the comments. Alright, and I will look at it and answer it when I notice your comment. Alright, so see you scholars in our next video. Take care. Bye bye.